Hi everyone, it's Mikaela here at the Nutritional Healing Center of Ann Arbor. I just wanted to come on and kind of talk a little bit about my day-to-day routine and how I not only stay well, but keep going about my days even with working in the office and around sick people sometimes, how I keep my immune system up and keep going day to day. So each day, I guess, it can of course vary, but when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I'm already washing my face, brushing my teeth, and getting ready for a productive day. As soon as I head downstairs, if you know me, you know I'm making a coffee. I don't recommend this for all of my patients or people in general, but it's something that I do okay with, and I need to, well, I don't need it, but I do it to get through my day. I don't add sugar or anything like that. I add real cream and sometimes a little bit of honey. So that's kind of how I make it, I guess, catered to my nutritional needs. And there's always other options for that. From there, I tend to take my morning supplements, which can vary as well day to day, depending how I'm feeling and what's going on in my life. But what will always be in there is some sort of B vitamin to get me going and my brain ready for the day ahead. After that, I tend to eat some sort of a breakfast. Some days I'm not hungry, so I'll fast until I get to work and until midday. Other days I really do need some sort of protein-filled breakfast. So when those days come about, I will do some eggs, even just a piece of bacon here and there to kind of get me going. And then our lunch happens to be later in the day. Usually I get to go around 1:30. And so to me, that's later than a traditional lunch. So my biggest meal of the day tends to be my lunch. I will go to a hot bar of an organic shop nearby and get something because that's convenient for me, or I will meal prep the night before and take something of what I had for dinner to kind of, make sure that I have something nutritious and filling to get through the rest of my afternoon. We close at the office at 6, so I'm usually seeing patients, for 4 more hours post-lunch. So always making sure that I have something that's protein filled, even if it's not a traditional lunch. There's been multiple times where I've done an omelet or something for lunch just because it's what I needed, and that's completely valid. So it's okay to tailor your meals to your needs. After work, I get home, I'll try to go on a walk, or I'll do some yoga depending on my day and also what time I get off, because the schedules will change. Walks are my favorite, but of course we're just getting into spring, so it's easier said than done because last winter was rough. I have to be honest, I didn't go on many walks. So I'm just now incorporating that back into my routine, but my ideal evening would be getting off of work, going home, having a good walk, and then getting ready for dinner, if I'm even hungry at that point. It truly does matter, what I had for lunch, if I even need dinner, which is ideal. You shouldn't eat if you're not hungry, and I stand by that myself. So there are days where, depending on how long my day was, I'll get home and, I'll eat a steak or a burger without a bun and some vegetables. There are other days where I'm like, I'll just do some bone broth and, go about my nighttime routine. So it is okay. I have a lot of people where they'll ask, well, what would a meal plan be? What should I do every day? I don't really recommend you do the same thing every day ever, just because, your stress level changes day to day. For women, our hormones are cycling different every day. There's so many different factors that play into your appetite and also what your body needs. So just keep that in mind. Lastly, after dinner or after my nighttime walk, I will usually try to wind down, whether that means taking my PM supplements, and doing some magnesium, some inositol, some calming B vitamins, some digestive support, depending on what I ate throughout the day. Or if that just means like making a good herbal tea and winding down for my evening. I do try to have good sleep hygiene, meaning I'm not looking and staring at my phone in bed up until the second I fall asleep. That is always easier said than done. So I say take that with a grain of salt, but it does definitely improve your sleep quality. I've even seen it trend better on Aura rings, or the things that are actually truly tracking your HRV and your sleep quality. It does matter and it does make a difference. So I do tell people it's underestimated how getting away from the blue light and, even just the things that are disrupting our brain can really just help your brain wind down after the long day that you've had and that you've pushed through. So this is what I would say is my normal routine. Of course, that changes day to day, as should anyone's. And I recommend you asking your practitioner kind of what their normal day looks like. I have so many people that come in and they are wondering, how to incorporate this or how to add this to their routine. They're already busy enough. They don't need a more harder chore. With our programs, that's really what I tell people not to expect. We want to make sure that, this is easy for them to incorporate into their lifestyle. Even though it is a lifestyle change, it should be possible that you can incorporate it and feel healthy without feeling worse before you feel better or more stress before you feel better. So these are just some of my tips, and I hope this helped you a little bit. But if you're curious about what herbal teas I use or what PM supplements or AM supplements I use to have lots of energy, feel free to reach out. I hope that everyone watching this is feeling well, and if not, you know where to find us. The number is 734-302-7575, and we all look forward to helping you.